It is said that learning is a treasure that will follow its owner everywhere. And here I am, Ruhi Nair, a student of 10th E, taking you on a trip to the roots of our education that has given us wings. 27 years of angelic alumnus and alumni, 27 years of educating enthusiastic students, 27 years of excellent education, 27 years of captivating co-curricular activities, 27 years of reliable respect, 27 years of parents' priceless contribution, 27 years of passionate performers, 27 years of dignity and honor, 27 years of questions, answers, directions and advice, 27 years of students' sincere support, 27 years of tantalizing togetherness makes Dr. S. Radhakrishnan International School a splendid school. Let's take a trip to the place where our spirits rise up and our thoughts are full of hope.
Their eyes were luminous coals of passion. Their paths were marked with fiery flames of desire. Their dreams were tinged with red, orange sunlight of glowing hope. Armed with the fire of their soul, they struggled, fought, and created our nation. Rising from the coal red embers of all those who gave up their tomorrows, that we may have our todays. Should their thoughts go wasted in the dry desert of daily gravel? Or should we nourish them with the flowing sweet waters of effort? Feed them with the sunshine of innovation and pressure them into becoming the diamonds that cut out nation into shape to be placed in the crown jewels of the world. Hello everyone, this is Meena Mishra, and on behalf of Dr. S. Radhakrishnan International School, Malad, I extend a warm welcome to the Diamond Jubilee celebration of our Independence Day.
मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Good morning. I am Rose Forrest and I'm Ruhi Nair and we're from Standard 10E. A unique land of vibrant colors, breathtaking landscapes and rich history. India is unlike any other. India is tagged as the mother of so many inventions, namely algebra, the number zero, shampoo, chess, the value of pi, and diamond mining. Our Soniki Chidiya has made it through 75 years of independence and is proud and strong boy. Next up, we have the Hindi choir dedicating a melody to our motherland Bharat Maa, our Krishi Pradhan Desh. मेरे देश की धरती सोना उगले उगले हीरे
मेरे देश की धरती मेरे देश की धरती सोना उगले उगले हीरे मोती मेरे देश की धरती मेरे देश की धरती मेरे शहनाई बजे,
लगे कहीं शहनाई बजे। आते ही मस्त बहारों के दुल्हन की तरह हर खेत सजे,
दुल्हन की तरह हर खेत सजे। मेरे देश की धरती, मेरे देश की धरती सोना उगले उगले हीरे मोती। मेरे देश की धरती, मेरे देश की धरती, मेरे देश की धरती सोना उगले उगले हीरे मोती। मेरे देश की धरती, मेरे देश की धरती, मेरे देश की धरती, मेरे देश की धरती।
As the head and face of the school, she empowers her teachers to create, sustain, and nurture caring learning environment for students. She is transparent, responsive, and successfully weaves the school's vision and philosophy with various activities undertaken by our school. She is a skilled negotiator and thoughtful moderator. She supports her teachers who strive to make meaningful experiences relevant, holistic, and memorable. She is known for her strategic thinking, skills, and the ability to motivate, develop, and inspire. I take this privilege of inviting one such leader, our respected Principal Ma'am, Meenakshi Kilpade Ma'am, to address the audience.
Good morning, everyone. A wonderful and happy Independence Day to all you citizens of this great nation. And congratulations to each one of us as we commemorate our country's 75th Independence Day. What a landmark for a nation reborn and for us to witness our country's growth. The Diamond Jubilee year is definitely a cause for celebrations and joyousness for how far we have come as a nation. As our country celebrates its Diamond Jubilee year of independence in BCG, we believe every student of ours is as unique as a diamond. A diamond has very unique properties. So also every child comes with unique potential and capabilities. Children come with their own unique luster. It's up to us adults in their environment to polish them. Quality of polishing will determine their appearance, brilliance, scintillation, and fire. The word diamond comes from a Greek word that means unbreakable, and India is known to be the earliest miners of diamond. Just as the diamond is the hardest substance known, let's make our children resilient so that they are able to withstand challenges and shine bright despite the challenges. Diamonds are versatile. We too must work towards making the diamonds of this nation versatile, adaptive, flexible, and multifaceted by providing them with varied experiences and exposure. Let's teach our children to reflect maximum light and be chemically resistant, free from prejudices, where their mind is without fear and the head is held high, and the clear stream of reason has not lost its way. And let's not make them build walls around them. Our country has the richest tapestry woven with rich and colorful threads. Let's revel and rejoice in it and leave a stronger social fabric as a legacy. As a democratic country, we are one of the very few countries in the world that have excelled and made a mark for ourselves in the world. Our brilliant minds bringing about the green and white revolution, also excelling in the field of IT and space programs, defense, building roadways in difficult terrain to the largest network of railways. We have successfully done it all and it instills pride in us. 75 years ago, India undertook a tryst with destiny to step from old to new, lighting up hope for millions. Thanks to a generation of die-hard patriots and their dream for a free and great nation. They paved the way for us to flourish. Now it's time for us to pave the way for our next generation to ensure that they take the nation to greater heights, but with the strengthened bond of one flag, one hand, one heart, and one glory. Let's stand out as a beacon to the world and as a symbol of unity and harmonious coexistence that ensures peace, progress, and prosperity for fellow beings. It is said energy flows where attention goes. Let's focus and attend to building a better India for our diamonds, our children. Let that be their propeller so that 75 years down the line, they can look back with pride. I take this opportunity to thank all our art and craft teachers for putting their hearts, hands, and mind together and coming up with the wonderful decorations in the school. I would also like to take this opportunity to welcome and thank all our chief guests for taking time out and being a part of our Independence Day celebrations. Thank you all once again. Jai Hind.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Janvi Iyer from Class 10th A. I'm profusely elated to introduce our guest for today, Colonel Manish Avasti, on the auspicious occasion of our Independence Day celebration. Colonel Manish Avasti is an alumni of NDA Pune and IMA Dehradun. He commanded the Gorkha Rifle in Jammu and Kashmir in the high altitude line of control sector. He was the best student in the jungle warfare course held in Mizoram. He had been awarded with the Chief of Army Staff and Army Commander's Commendation Card for the dedication of service. Colonel Manish Avasti is currently posted in the NCC Commanding Officer of Unit 6 Maharashtra Battalion Mumbai Group A. It's a pleasure for all of us to have you as our guest. A warm welcome to you, sir.
Dear faculty members and cadets, good morning and heartiest congratulations on our 75th Independence Day. The country has come a long way in these wonderful 75 years, and we are lucky that we are a part of it. From transistors and radios to color television, from telegram to modern communication gadgets, we have progressed in all the fields. In fact, today I can share my thoughts with you by the development of this technology. The pandemic has been our testing time. We have witnessed the cruelty of the disease and its ill effects in various fronts, including education and economy. But it has also taught us to be simple and live in lesser resources. It has also given us a chance to make the best use of the family time. I am sure you will agree with me with that. We have recently seen the brilliant performance of our sportsperson in Olympic Tokyo 2020. Complete nation is celebrating the victory and efforts of our sports warriors. This was possible due to their hard work and dedication. So today we pledge to give our 100% to the nation and its development. Once again, heartiest congratulations on our Independence Day. Jai Hind.
Good morning everyone, my name is Anushka Sen and I am from the AS level.
Good morning everyone, I am Spandan Gurav and I am from the AS level.
Well, Spandan, Independence Day is the most significant day in the history of India because it reminds us of the bravery and struggle of our freedom fighters. On this day, we pay homage to our fighters who fought and gave up their life for our independence.
We need to ask those born before 1947 to know the pangs of anguish of being enslaved under a colonial rule. For every Indian in those days, it was indeed a Herculean task to fight against those powerful giants, the British. Those difficult times and struggles must not be allowed to fade away from our memories.
On this auspicious occasion of 75th Independence Day, that is the Diamond Jubilee, let us review how India has progressed and reached this milestone and hoist our precious diamond through this special tribute.
Diamonds, the object that rises from the ashes to shine the brightest of them all. This natural beauty derives its name from the Greek word adamas, which means invincible or unconquerable. Formed under intense pressure and heat, these gems are truly rare. To reach the perfect cut and be adorned by the spectators, this precious stone undergoes a ruthless process that helps it to become a quintessential version of itself. Similarly, just like diamonds that carry out a journey of over 1 billion years to transform itself from the purest form of carbon to the conspicuous model that sits significantly at the top of all minerals, our country India is another such gem. that has traveled a long, long road to move from a state of obscurity to a state of certainty and transform itself to gleam like a radiant star and further adapt to reflect its light upon the entire world. On the auspicious occasion of our 75th Independence Day, the Diamond Jubilee, let us review how India has progressed and reached this milestone and hoist our precious diamond through this special tribute.
Have you ever heard of the name Ratan Tata or Azim Premji?
Oh, of course. Who hasn't? What great achievers they are. Extraordinary industrialists, I must say.
Exactly. They've played a major role in the field of technology. However, don't you think we all need to know a little more about them?
That's so true. How about knowing from them itself?
Good morning, everybody. I, Swara Keni from Grade 10A,
And I, Krish Mehan from Grade 10B, are here to invite the gentlemen
let's welcome Aryan Rego as Ratan Tata
and Adhiraj Pednekar as Azim Premji on stage.
Good morning and a happy Independence Day. Hey, my name is Ratan Tata. I'm an Indian industrialist, philanthropist, and former chairman of Tata Sons. I was born into a notable Tata family on 20th December 1937. I have studied in Cornell University School of Architecture and Harvard Business School. Companies like Tata Motors, Tata Steel, Tata Chemicals, Tata Consumer Products, Titan, Tata Capital, Tata Power, Tata Advanced Systems, Indian Hotels, and Tata Communications belong to Tata Group. My group has innumerable contributions to India. For example, Tata Power, which provides electricity to many, which includes law school DSRB. Your online classroom has been developed with the help of TCS. The internet that we all use to use our mobile phones has been made with Tata Communications infrastructure. Or we did the underground metro constructed using our tunnel boring machines. Companies are contributing to India's growth every single day. I have received of the highest civilian awards of India, the Padma Vibhushan in 2008 and Padma Bhushan in 2000, apart from various notable awards. I am the supporter of education, medicine and rural development of India.
Good morning, friends, and happy Independence Day to all. I would like to introduce myself to you. I am Azim Premji, mostly known as chairman of Wipro. I was born on 24 July 1945 in Bombay to Mohammad Premji. My father was called Rice King of Burma by people. Though I am a businessman, I like to help poor and needy people. I run non-profit organization, namely Azim Premji Foundation, which work in many states of India for needy villagers, and also started Azim Premji University in Karnataka. Wipro was initially oil and soap making company, which I turned into an IT company. I received Padma Bhushan in 2005 and Padma Vibhushan in 2011. Friends, but this was not an easy journey. Due to my father's sudden death, I have to return to India from California to take over my father's business, leaving my engineering studies in between. After changing my father's company, Wipro, I grew it to successful IT company with lot of hard work, support from my company workers. I value Indian tradition culture and follow simple and humble lifestyle. Friends, with strong willpower, hard work and positivity, you can achieve your dreams. Jai Hind!
Hello everyone, I am Rose Suarez from Standard 10E. I am Nishka Dodia from Standard 9B. Agriculture. Does it really mean growing crops and livestock for a living and considered a profession for the poor in the rural areas? With this pandemic coming in, everyone knows that it boils down to the basics. Agriculture, a big part of the country's economy. From ancient to modern times of current progress in science and technology, this basic concept has never changed. And more a country can produce, the more self-sufficient and independent a country will be. The introduction of high-yielding varieties of seeds and the improved quality of fertilizers and irrigation techniques lead to the increase in production to make the country self-sufficient in food grains, thus improving agriculture in India and making India self-sufficient. Next in line, we have a Marathi roleplay by the students of Standard 9.
सुवर्णरौप्यमाणिक्य वसनैरपि पूरिताः तथापि प्रार्थयन्तेव कृषकान् भक्ततृष्णया. The shlok means that even after having all the riches of the world, we are dependent on the farmer for food. Thank you.
कष्टाची ती भाकर,
मेहनतीचा तो घाम,
राब राबुनी शेतामध्ये
पिकवतो आम्ही मोत्याचे रान.
नमस्कार मंडळी, आपल्या भारताच्या स्वातंत्र्याचा हिरक महोत्सव साजरा करताना आज खूप आनंद होत आहे. या भारतास अन्नधान्याच्या कृषी क्षेत्रात अग्रेसर बनवण्याचे स्वप्न पाहणारे आम्ही आधुनिक शेतकरी.
असं म्हणतात गेली 6000 वर्षे शेती परंपरा सुरू आहे. भारतात इंग्रजी सत्तेचे अंमल होण्यापूर्वीच्या काळापर्यंत येथील खेडी शेती व्यवस्थापनाच्या बाबतीत स्वायत्त होती. शेतीत काय व कसे पिकवायचे आणि येणाऱ्या उत्पादनाचा विनियोग कसा करायचा याचे निर्णय स्वातंत्र्य शेतकऱ्यांना होते.
पण इंग्रजी राजवटीत शेतकऱ्याच्या स्वायत्ततेवर बंधने आली. कापूस, ऊस, नीळ, भुईमूग अशा नगदी पिकांचे उत्पादन घेणे शेतसारा पद्धत शेतकऱ्यांवर लादली गेली. इंग्रजांच्या या धोरणाची परिणती शेतकऱ्याचे कंबरडे मोडण्यात व अन्नधान्याच्या दुर्भिक्ष होण्यात झाली. पण त्यातूनही हा शेतकरी जगला, तग धरून राहिला.
15 ऑगस्ट 1947 स्वातंत्र्याची पहाट या भूमीवर अवतरली. पण प्रगतीच्या वाटेवर अनेक खाचखळगे होते. स्वातंत्र्य मिळाल्यानंतर राज्यकर्त्यांपुढे शेतीविषयक अनेक आव्हाने होती. त्यातच सतत पडणाऱ्या दुष्काळांची भर पडली.
पण संकटांपुढे नामोहरम होण्याचा आम्हा भारतीयांचा स्वभावच नाही. अनेक शास्त्रज्ञ, विचारवंत, मुत्सद्दी राजकारणी आणि आम्ही भूमिपुत्र यांनी शेती पुन्हा एकदा सुजलाम सुफलाम करण्याचा चंगच बांधला. डॉक्टर स्वामीनाथन आणि त्यांच्या मार्गदर्शनाने हरित क्रांतीची सुरुवात झाली.
धरण बांधणी, सिंचनाच्या सोयी, संकरित बी बियाणे यांच्या मदतीने आम्ही शेतकऱ्यांनी देशाला अन्नधान्यात स्वयंपूर्ण बनवले. 1950च्या दरम्यान 5.2 कोटी मेट्रिक टनांचे आसपासचे उत्पादन 2013 मध्ये 26.3 कोटी मेट्रिक टनांपर्यंत पोहोचले.
आजही भारतात जवळजवळ गावात राहणारे 75% लोक शेतीवर अवलंबून आहेत. भारतात 43% क्षेत्रफळावर शेती केली जाते. भारतात 51 प्रकारची प्रमुख पिके घेतली जातात. देशाच्या आर्थिक प्रगतीस शेतीचा मोलाचा वाटा आहे. आता तर आपण शेतीमालाच्या निर्यातीत 10 राष्ट्रांच्या यादीत समाविष्ट झालो आहोत.
उत्तम जैव वैविधता, मोठ्या प्रमाणावर सिंचनाखालील जमीन, वर्षभर शेतीपूरक हवामान आणि शेतकऱ्यांचे कष्ट ही शेतीतील बलस्थाने आहेत. आजचा शेतकरी शेतीत नवनवीन प्रयोग करण्यास उत्सुक आहे. शेतीबरोबरच जोडधंद्यातून उज्ज्वल भविष्याचे स्वप्न तो पाहत आहे.
हरित क्रांती बरोबरच श्वेत क्रांतीने दुग्ध उत्पादन अनेक पटींनी वाढले. दूध व दुग्धजन्य पदार्थ यातून शेतकरी संपन्न झाला. मत्स्योत्पादन वाढवण्यासाठी निळी क्रांती असो, फळे व मध यासाठी सोनेरी क्रांती असो, कुक्कुटपालन व अंडी उत्पादन यासाठी रुपेरी क्रांती असो, अशा अनेक क्रांत्या शेती जगतात घडल्या. या जोडधंद्याच्या मदतीने आजचा आधुनिक शेतकरी उद्याचा बलशाली भारत घडवत आहे. त्यात कृषी विद्यापीठे, कृषी संशोधन संस्था आणि भारत सरकारने राबवलेले अनेक उपक्रम यांचाही वाटा आहे.
आम्ही शेतकरी काळ्या मातीत राबून अन्नधान्य रूपी सोने पिकवतो. पण त्याच अन्नाची नासधूस होताना पाहून मन विदीर्ण होते. म्हणून आमची तुम्हा सुजाण प्रेक्षकांना एवढीच विनंती आहे की अन्नास सन्मान द्या. अन्न वाया घालवू नका. या अन्नाचा वापर सकल मानवजातीचे पोषण करण्यात होतो. चला तर मग या अन्न संस्कार नवीन पिढीत रुजवूया.
वदनी कवळ घेता नाम घ्या मातृभूचे, सहज स्मरण होते आपल्या बांधवांचे.
करुणी स्मरण त्यांचे अन्न सेवा खुशाल, उदर भरण व्हावे चित्त होण्या विशाल.
कृषीवल कृषी कर्मी राबती दिन रात श्रमिक श्रम करोनी वस्तू या निर्मितात.
वदनी कवळ घेता नाम घ्या मातृभूचे, नाम घ्या मातृभूचे, नाम घ्या मातृभूचे. धन्यवाद.
To one and all present here, I am Brijesh Yadav from Standard 10th A, and today I am profusely delighted to take this opportunity to introduce our guest for the day. Those were the days when girls couldn't opt for army, but once given a chance, they proved that they are not less than men. And it's an honor to have Brigadier Dr. Aruna Menon with us. She is a brigadier by profession and a writer by passion. Words and relationships have always fascinated her, and she weaves them two together in her writings. I extend a warm welcome to her on behalf of Dr. S. Radhakrishnan International School, Malad.
Good morning and a very happy 75th Independence Day to all of you and all my fellow Indians. I am Brigadier Aruna Menon. I am presently posted at AFMC and I bring you greetings from the Army as well as the Armed Forces Medical College. I am an immensely proud Indian and I feel the country has given us so much. Most importantly, the freedom to be who we are and who we want to be. And it would be our own endeavor to give back to the country a little fraction of what it has given us. There is a lot of scope for improvement even at perfection, and I feel where we do lack a little is possibly in the way our daughters are being treated in the country. You and I who live in the urban part of the country and have a lot of amenities and privileges may not realize the kind of life that the women or even all the people in our villages lead. So today, let us pledge that we will do whatever we can in our little own sphere of influence to make their lives better and as thankful as we are today. You are the bright sparks who are going to bring this to reality. We may have paved the way a little, but you are the ones who are going to make this dream a reality. And so I would ask each one of you to pledge today to do whatever you can to make the life of your neighbor, or more importantly, the ones who are more privileged than us, better. And the power of one is tremendous. So don't think that you are too small or too little to make a difference. You can and you must. With that, I once again wish all of you a wonderful 75th Independence Day, and for now I'm signing off, hoping to meet you someday in person. Jai Hind.
Dancing is a perpendicular expression of a horizontal desire. On this auspicious occasion of Independence Day, aren't we happy and celebrating?
Of course we are. Does dancing make you happy? Does it make you feel carefree? Dance to the rhythm of your heart and you will feel happiness like never before. What matters is that your heart loves to dance.
Well, get ready for a whirlwind of joy and excitement. Without further ado, we would like to call upon Standard 10 students from Seagulls for a gripping and versatile dance performance, which is a fusion of Indian as well as Western dance.
थोड़ी सी धोखने वाली धक 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 सांसें जिनमें हो जुनू जुनू वो बूंदे लाल लहू की, ये सब तू मिला मिला ले, फिर रंग तू खिला खिला ले, ये सब तू मिला मिला ले, फिर रंग तू खिला खिला ले, और मोह तू रंग दे पसंद की यारा, मोह तू रंग दे पसंद। मैं लड़ जाना है लहू में एक चिंगारी, जिद से जुनू तक है जाना, हर कतरा बोल रहा मैं लड़ जाना है लहू में एक चिंगारी, जिद से जुनू तक है जाना, हर कतरा बोल रहा। मैं लड़ जाना है लहू में एक चिंगारी, जिद से जुनू तक है जाना, हर कतरा बोल रहा। छल्ला सिर ते बन के कफन जद तुरिया, तन के मौत नू वाचा, मारे थर थर कंबदे सारे। छल्ला सिर ते बन के कफन जद तुरिया, तन के मौत नू वाचा, मारे थर थर कंबदे सारे। How's the George? Hi, sir. How's the George? Hi, sir.
Hello, I'm Yani Bhausar from the A-levels.
Hi, I'm Sharvari Muri from the A-levels.
Sharvari, the Independence Day of our nation has always had a profound significance in our hearts. But what makes this year even more special is the Diamond Jubilee. This year, we celebrate the 75th Independence Day.
Yes, a diamond jubilee is special, and so is a diamond. A diamond is forever, a saying that impeccably captures the values of strength and resilience that a diamond reflects. A diamond is valued not only for its beauty and spectacle, but also for the powerful and timeless impact that it holds.
On this 75th Independence Day, it is of importance to think about not only how our country has changed and progressed, but also how our planet is changing. We have seen individuals taking steps towards bringing about changes for global warming, pollutions, etc.
True that. And such individuals are the true diamonds that we have. And just like them, we could also inculcate these values in ourselves and become more responsible and sympathetic residents of not only the nation, but of planet Earth as well. And the students of Senior KG are here to show us just that. Please welcome them with a huge round of applause.
Because I can make future shine bright. I'm a diamond because I can create a green blanket to save our earth. I am a diamond because I can reuse and recycle for a better environment. I'm a diamond because I can teach myself to be compassionate and care for others. I am a diamond because I will always say no to plastic and make my work beautiful place. I am a diamond. My shine, my sparkle comes from the internal love for my country. Proud to be an Indian. Thank you. I am a diamond and will responsibly show my love for our heroes who fought for independence. I am a diamond and will shine like the freedom fighters of our country. I am a diamond. My shine, my sparkle comes from the golden heritage of my country. I am a diamond, a piece of gold that never gave up the dream of independent India, just like our freedom fighters.
Swara, have you ever wondered what an ideal India would be like?
Definitely. A country full of peace, prosperity and equality would be so adored by everybody.
Wow, wouldn't that just be splendid? On this note, let's see what the grade 5 students have in their minds about an ideal country.
Let's welcome the Joyce Mandapam and Devarsh Patel to talk about the India of their dreams.
Honorable Principal, respected teachers and dear friends, Jai Hind. Preamble of our Constitution declares India to be a sovereign, socialist, secular and democratic republic. The objectives stated by the preamble are to secure justice, liberty, equality to all citizens, promoting fraternity, to maintain unity and integrity of the nation. In the India of my dreams, there will be justice, liberty and equality, promoting fraternity for fulfilling the aspirations of the citizens of India, young and old. My dream India will be filled with compassion, peace, happiness and truthfulness, where no one is afraid of speaking the truth and where there is no corruption. Every citizen will be literate, free of violence, terrorism, hunger and suffering. Highest standards of cleanliness and hygiene will be maintained in the India of my dreams, where women are respected and people from all religions coexist, and where every citizen is proud to be an Indian. Thank you, dear all.
Good morning, respected Principal Ma'am, Miss Minakshi Kilpadi, Honorable Chief Guest, teachers, parents, and my dear friends. I, Devash Patel from grade 5B, would take this privilege on the 75th Independence Day to share my views and opinions on the India of my dreams. I visualize India to be clean, green and pollution free in the future. This dream will ensure a healthy lifestyle of people of India. I dream of India where rules and regulations are followed responsibly, which would in turn decrease or eliminate accidents, mishaps, and crimes in the country. I visualize India with many employment opportunities and platforms for citizens of India that would help the country to evolve as a developed nation. A day would fall short to talk about the India of my dreams. And yet to fulfill the above mentioned goals, I would like to mention this quote which I believe. Dream, dream, dream. Dreams transform into thoughts and thoughts result in action. By Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Thank you.
I am happy to release the first edition of the newsletter BCG Lighthouse, Nurturing Positivity All Around Us. Congratulations.
A performance showing gratitude and paying tribute to our nation's frontliners, who even in between a pandemic have adhered to their duties and have lent a helping hand to the ones in need, due to which our country has discerned a beam of light even in the darkest hour, the ones who do not rest until the hurdles have been crossed and circumstances settled. Coming up next, we have a dance performance by Albatross as a tribute to our nation's frontliners.
तुम बहुत जिद्दी है।
ये जो देश है तेरा, स्वदेश है तेरा, तुझे है पुकारा। ये वो बंधन है
खुशबू तू कैसे भुलाएगा, तू चाहे कहीं जाए तू लौट के आएगा। नई नई राहों में दबी दबी आहों में खोए खोए दिल से तेरे कोई ये कहेगा, ये जो देश है तेरा स्वदेश है तेरा, तुझे है पुकारा। ये वो बंधन है जो कभी टूट नहीं सकता।
Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam once said, "I will work and sweat for a great vision, the vision of transforming India into a developed nation."
Yes, we are living in that transformation. With the help of Indian Space Research Organization, that is ISRO, we have been part of the science development, whether it be the launch of Aryabhatta, India's first satellites, or the famous Mangalyaan mission.
ISRO is a space agency of the Indian government. It has its headquarters situated in the city of Bangalore in Karnataka. ISRO was established in the year 1962 by our former Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru.
The famous scientist Vikram Sarabhai was his assistant. He was the first chairman of ISRO and he was called the father of Indian space program. To impart more knowledge about ISRO's mission of transforming India, we have with us the students of ASN A level who are guided by Hema Miss.
ब्रह्मा मुरारी त्रिपुरान्तभारे भानु शशि भूमि सुतो बुधश्च गुरुश्च शुक्र शनि राहु केतव कुर्वन्तु सर्वे मम सुप्रभातम्. O all powerful prevailing engineers, along with all the 9 planets, the Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, with Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune, make my day a blissful one.
What amuses humankind the most lately is space exploration and the possibility of theories stating multiverses, black holes, and aliens. The tragic negotiation of pushing limitations to human life and preaching discoveries that arouse awe and sentiment is a forte to various space economy sectors.
The Indian Space Research Organization has never failed to fulfill the constant curiosity of youths. Today, on India's 75th Independence Day, we, the students of ASN A level, with pride present to you the wonderful accomplishments of ISRO.
The Aryabhatta spacecraft launch in 1975 paved a new path towards India's significant development into the space and technology field. No one knew how bright India's future was going to be while we explored the skies beyond our limits.
What may come as a surprise to many is that the glorious journey started from carrying its very first rocket on a bicycle. It was 21st November 1963 when the first rocket was launched.
When was the first satellite launched then? It was after 12 years that the Aryabhatta spacecraft was launched. After that, we saw the first Indian citizen in space, Rakesh Sharma.
When the GSLV was launched in 2001, who knew it would take us to the moon in 18 years? And then, in 2008, ISRO pulled off its biggest achievement yet, getting a satellite into orbit around the moon during the Chandrayaan-1 mission.
That eventually led to a path-breaking discovery of water on moon. 5 years later, in 2013, ISRO looked even further to Mars. The space agency launched the Mangalyaan or Mars Orbiter mission, finally inserting it into Martian orbit in 2014.
Even now during this pandemic, ISRO has taken initiatives to help, from donating 5 crore to PM Fund fast tracking oxygen, sending life saving supplies, to helping countries build oxygen systems using geospatial technology.
Considering their future plans, ISRO will be highly benefiting Indians over time. They will be introducing various transport management and traffic navigation techniques, like SRO-enabled GPS system helping Indian Railways improve efficiency of train services. Another new project they are looking forward to working with, the NHAI. Through this, the government will use space technology and unmanned aerial vehicles to monitor and manage national highways and road assets.
The upcoming new missions of ISRO seem even more exciting than ever. Gaganyaan tops the list with RISAT 1A and Aditya L1. PSLV Amazonia is another new mission Indians will be looking forward to this year.
The credit of all these inventions goes to the great personalities and great minds who put in their sincere efforts in the success of ISRO. Let's salute the shining stars of ISRO.
Dr. Vikram Sarabhai is widely known as the father of Indian space program. He helped establish Indian Space Agency, the Indian Space Research Organization. The lander of India's Chandrayaan-2, Vikram, was named after him, and so was the Vikram Sarabhai Space Center.
Dr. Kalam was a part of the Indian National Committee for Space Research, also known as INCOSPAR. This team of rocket engineers set up the Thamba Equatorial Rocket Launching Station that is used by ISRO to launch sounding rockets even today.
Satish Dhawan was an Indian mathematician and aerospace engineer. Widely regarded as the father of experimental fluid dynamics research in India, Dhawan carried out pioneering experiments in rural education, remote sensing, and satellite communications.
Under his chairmanship, ISRO launched Chandrayaan-2, the second mission to the moon on July 22, 2019. Vikram rover crashed, but the orbiter is fine and orbiting the moon.
Meet the proud team of ISRO who put India on the Mars. The country shall always remain indebted to your contribution and efforts.
ऊपर से भारत कैसा दिखता है आपको? सारे जहां से अच्छा.
सारे जहां से अच्छा. These immortal words of Rakesh Sharma were symbolic of the emotions each one of us experienced with moist eyes and a heart filled with pride. We value our scientists for their unending efforts. Setbacks have never stopped us, and we shall continue to march forward with the same zeal and enthusiasm.
India has led the world right from the age of Aryabhatta. We believe in Vasudeva Kutumbakam. The world is one. With ISRO growing by leaps and bounds, there is no doubt that we, the young generation, shall not only venture into the unknown mysteries of universe, but shall use our expertise to tap the energy in space for the benefit of mankind. Jai Hind, proud to be an Indian.
Sharmari, during this time of the year, we were able to witness an exhilarating event of Summer 2020 Olympics, branded this year as Tokyo 2020. Not only has India stamped a place in many sports ranging from badminton, women's welter games to wrestling, we have also shown a great deal of courage, enthusiasm and sportsmanship.
On this occasion, it is significant that we also remember the Indian participants from the previous Summer Olympics who brought back glory home, namely Sakshi Malik with a bronze and PV Sindhu with a shining silver in wrestling and badminton respectively. And of course, all the other competitors who gave us a fine show in 2016 and this year as well. On this note, we have our student from class 3rd A to share with us the progress of our nation in the field of sport and Olympics. Please welcome Abhi Taki.
India shining at the Olympics. Olympic Games are considered to be the greatest sports event of the world. It is held every 4 years. It is a symbol of international friendship and brotherhood. Many countries send their participants to take part in the Olympics. India first participated at the Olympic Games in 1900. Since then, it has been sending her participants regularly to take part in the Olympics. India has shown some magnificent performance in hockey at the Olympics. It bagged 6 gold medals from 1928 to 1956, and we won the gold medal at 1964 and 1980 Olympics too. India has also garnered many medals in wrestling, shooting, tennis, and women's weightlifting from 1952 to 2004 Olympic Games. It has won 29 medals at the Olympics since the 1900 edition. A few names that have aged in our memories are Milkha Singh, Dhyan Chand, Leander Paes, P.V. Sindhu, and the very recent weightlifter Mirabai Chanu. We have surely come a long way in the field of sports, and with the right fostering of sports culture, we will continue to shine globally.
Music makes me clap and tap around in spite of being wherever in the world.
I know, right? Dancing a little, moving a bit is really energizing.
Yeah, it makes me feel so refreshed. For me, dancing is simply enjoyment.
Well, not really. Dance is not just enjoyment. In fact, dance is emotion. It's a way of expressing thoughts. It is transcendent. Dance is art.
I agree. And hence keeping these thoughts in mind, let's get ready for some artistic moves.
Yep, that's right. Here are the 10th graders of Falcons to perform a treat of hip-hop fusion and crumping.
सुनो गौर से दुनिया वालों, बुरी नजर ना हम पे डालो। सुनो गौर से दुनिया वालों, बुरी नजर ना हम पे डालो। चाहे जितना जोर लगा लो, सबसे आगे होंगे हिंदुस्तानी। सुनो गौर से दुनिया वालों, बुरी नजर ना हम पे डालो। चाहे जितना जोर लगा लो, सबसे आगे होंगे हिंदुस्तानी। हमने कहा है, तुम भी कहो। हमने कहा है जो तुम भी कहो।
आओ हम मिलजुल के बोले अब तो यारा, अपना जहां है सबसे प्यारा। आओ हम मिलजुल के बोले अब तो यारा, अपना जहां है सबसे प्यारा।
हमने कहा है जो तुम भी कहो। रग रग में जोश की बूंदे, बूंदों में जीत ही गूंजे। इस गूंज से गिर जाएगा आसमान भी कदमों में। रग रग में जोश की बूंदे, बूंदों में जीत ही गूंजे। इस गूंज से गिर जाएगा आसमान भी कदमों में। रोको ना सपनों के तूफानों को, रोको ना जज्बों की उड़ानों को, रोको ना आंखों के निशानों को। आग जैसे बरसा दे ये इरादे। जिगरा है, जिगरा है, जिगरा है, जिगरा है। जिगरे से निकलेंगी चिंगारियां। वो जिगरा है, जिगरा है, जिगरा है, जिगरा है। जिगरे से निकलेंगी चिंगारियां।
Before we witness our next presentation, here is a quick fun fact for you, Sharvil. The Indian Railways is the 4th largest railway network in the world by size, as of the 31st March 2020.
Well, and adding on to that fact, Yani, with over 13,000 passenger trains allowing the conveyance of 23 million commuters daily from 7,000 stations, The Indian Railways has time and again proved to be an exemplary transport system. The well laid out matrix of tracks connects the farthest corners of India, from mountains to valleys.
It has been about 170 years since the inception of this intricate system, and most Indians and several tourists still choose to travel with this method of transport over others because of its accessibility, affordability, and convenience. From the very old steam engines to the very recent metros, how the world has evolved.
So, let's travel a trail down the history of railways along with the students of Standard 8. Please welcome them with a round of applause.
रेलगाड़ी रेलगाड़ी
बड़ी पुरानी है ये, लेकिन दिलचस्प कहानी है ये। भारतीय संस्कृति की निशानी है ये, कुछ और नहीं, हमारी प्रगतिशील लौपतगामिनी है ये। जी हाँ, भारत में रेल का पहला कदम पड़ा सन 1851 में, जब देश में ब्रिटिश राज था। उन्होंने अपनी प्रशासनिक सुविधा बढ़ाने के लिए भारत में रेल की नींव डाली। शुरुआत बहुत ही मामूली तौर पर हुई।
16 अप्रैल 1853 को पहली रेल ने मुंबई से लेकर थाने तक की 34 किलोमीटर लंबी दूरी तय की। सफर छोटा था, लेकिन इस छोटे से सफर ने भारतीय रेल के लंबे सफर की नींव रखी। 1853 को शुरू हुई इस रेल ने रफ्तार पकड़ी और रेल का विकास होता गया।
आइए एक नजर डालते हैं भारतीय रेल के कुछ तथ्यों पर। भारतीय रेल का नेटवर्क 1.16 लाख किलोमीटर लंबा है, जो दुनिया में अमेरिका, रूस और चीन के बाद चौथा सबसे बड़ा नेटवर्क है। वर्ष 1936 में पहली बार यात्री डिब्बों को वातानुकूलित किया गया। भारतीय रेल का शुभंकर हरी बत्ती वाली लालटेन लिए एक हाथी है, जिसका नाम भोलू है।
कन्याकुमारी और जम्मू तवी के बीच में चलने वाली हिमसागर एक्सप्रेस सबसे लंबी दूरी की रेल है। 140 किलोमीटर प्रति घंटे की रफ्तार से चलने वाली भोपाल की शताब्दी एक्सप्रेस देश की सबसे तेज चलने वाली रेल है। खड़गपुर रेल स्टेशन दुनिया का सबसे लंबा रेल प्लेटफॉर्म है। फेरी क्वीन दुनिया का सबसे पुराना इंजन है, जो अभी भी दौड़ता है। लाइफलाइन एक्सप्रेस एक विशेष रेल है। इसे हॉस्पिटल ऑन व्हील के नाम से भी जाना जाता है। यह रेल में ऑपरेशन रूम से लेकर इलाज की सारी सुविधाएं उपलब्ध है।
वर्ष 1977 में दिल्ली की चाणक्यपुरी में राष्ट्रीय रेल संग्रहालय खोला गया। सोसाइटी ऑफ इंटरनेशनल ट्रैवलर्स ने भारत की भव्य गाड़ियां, डेक्कन ओडिसी, पैलेस ऑन व्हील्स और 100 साल पुरानी टॉय ट्रेन को विश्व की 25 सर्वश्रेष्ठ ट्रेनों की सूची में शामिल किया। वर्ष 2004 में पहली बार भारतीय रेल में इंटरनेट के माध्यम से आरक्षण प्रारंभ हुआ। भारत की आजादी के बाद अंग्रेजों द्वारा छोड़ी गई तकनीकें काफी महंगी और धीमी गति से चलने वाली थी। इसीलिए मेट्रो रेल परियोजना के माध्यम से भारतीय रेलवे का नवीनीकरण किया गया। भारत में लगभग 10 लाख लोगों को रोजगार केवल रेलवे स्टेशन के माध्यम से ही मिलता है।
जी जनाब, ये रेल है भारतीय रेल, जो हमारे आवागमन का साधन ही नहीं, बल्कि हमारे संस्कृति और सभ्यता का आईना है, जिसमें विविध प्रदेशों की झांकी नजर आती है। जिस क्षेत्र से यह रेल गुजरती है, वहाँ की संस्कृति, परंपरा, खान पान व वेशभूषा को अपने में समेट संपूर्ण देश भर में जोड़ने का कार्य करती है। दरअसल यह रेल हमारी ऐसी धरोहर है जो हमारी एकता व अखंडता का जीता जागता नमूना है।
आज हमें आजाद हुए 75 वर्ष हो गए हैं, लेकिन क्या हम अपनी दुर्भावनाओं से आजाद हुए हैं? जरा सी नाराजगी क्या हुई तो हम कभी रेल रोक को आंदोलन चलाते हैं, कभी आगजनी, तो कभी कभी तो हम तोड़ फोड़ पर ही आमादा हो जाते हैं।
ये कहाँ तक उचित है? रेल हमारे इतिहास के साथ साथ हमारे विकास, हमारे विश्वास का प्रतीक है। यह हमारी वो अनमोल संपदा है जिसका संरक्षण हम सबकी जिम्मेदारी है।
इस रेल का सफर जारी है, जारी ही रहेगा। विकास के नए नए पैमाने गढ़े जाते रहेंगे। जैसे जीने के लिए दिल का धड़कना जरूरी है, ठीक वैसे ही हमारे विकास के लिए रेल का चलना भी जरूरी है, क्योंकि ये सिर्फ एक सफर का जरिया नहीं, इसके साथ साथ करोड़ों लोगों की भावनाओं का जुड़ाव है। जुड़ाव एक सफर का, रेल का, जो कभी रुकती नहीं, थकती नहीं, चलती रहती है, दौड़ती रहती है, बिल्कुल जिंदगी की तरह।
गाड़ी बुला रही है, सीटी बजा रही है, गाड़ी बुला रही है, सीटी है, चलना ही जिंदगी है, चलती ही जा रही है।
Anushka, what do you feel about this lockdown which has been now for more than a year and about this pandemic?
Come on, Spandan. How can you ask this? Of course, this year has been worst and tense, filled with so many unpleasant news.
Yes, I agree. But haven't this year also witnessed some positive events?
Positive events like what?
Such as many people coming out to help the fellow citizens during the crucial, unnerving time of the pandemic, with prime example being one of our Indian actor, Mr. Sonu Sood.
Oh yes, how can I forget him? He helped lakhs of migrant workers head back home, equipped frontline workers with masks and face shield, launched app to help skilled and unskilled people finding jobs and many more.
Absolutely right. And when we talk of such selfless people, how can we forget Dr. Sindhutai Sakpal, who has adopted over 1400 orphan children. She travelled across villages and cities to raise money for her ashrams. Now many of her adopted children are doctors and lawyers, and moreover some are even running their own orphanages.
Wow, that's great. Now to learn more about them and their views, we have Kavish Champanekar from Standard 4th B as Sonu Sood and Unnati Khairnar from Standard 4th D as Sindhutai Sakpal.
Hello everyone, you must be wondering who I am. Yes, you guessed it right. I'm Sindhutai Sakpal. People call me Mai with love. I'm an Indian social worker and social activist known particularly for my work in raising orphan children in India. My mission is to bring up the orphan, destitute, distressed children and women and rehabilitate them. I also want to uplift the deprived section of the society and make them capable enough to live as respected human beings. I have devoted my entire life to the weaker section of society. I have nurtured over 1050 orphan children and I have been honored with more than 750 awards for my dedication and work. The recognition just goes on to prove that if you truly want to make a difference, you can and the world take notice. I started this journey alone and today I inspire so many others. That is my biggest reward. Thank you.
Good afternoon everyone. I am a real hero who turned out to be a real life hero for thousands of people in this pandemic. Yes, you all have guessed it right. I am Sonu Sood, a famous on-screen villain who truly became an idol for many. In this pandemic situation, my team and I proved the real meaning of humanity. We provided food and helped thousands of Indian migrants to reach their home who were stuck in different parts of India. We have sent more than 18,000 workers to their home in different states of India. We have kept ourselves accessible to anyone, to everyone who is in need. I believe that being successful can give us temporary joy, but giving something can give us true happiness. As I can't reach every individual, so through this platform, I request you all to be kind, helpful and humble towards each other and become a real life hero. I would like to end by saying, giving is not just about making a donation. It is about making a difference. Thank you. Jai Hind.
National symbols of a country represent a host of objects that paint a unique identity about the country's sensibilities. Representatives are chosen carefully and each depicts a certain virtue that is a distinctive characteristic of a country. The rich heritage of India is a result of assimilation of cultural influences from its invaders through the generations. Ours is a multifaceted culture, and the various facets of our heritage require appropriate representation. Our emblem exemplify the rich culture that resides at the core of the country, incites deep sense of pride in the hearts of Indian citizens, and represents a quality unique to India and its citizens. Coming up next are the students of Prep 2 manifesting objects of national significance.
Our national tree is banyan tree. Its leaves are large and glossy with small fruit. It houses many birds and provides shade to us. The country's unity is signified as it is huge with deep roots. Hi friends, my name is Andrea Udutare. I am a student of Prep 2A class. The peacock has colorful feathers and crown on its head. It is a symbol of grace and beauty. It is our national bird because it always was part of Indian custom and culture. Thank you. The lotus flower has important position in Indian tradition. It symbolizes beauty, purity, and knowledge. It grows uniquely in dirty water and remains untouched by impurity. Pink lotus is the national flower of India. The national emblem commands high respect and is an official symbol. The four lines seated on a circular abacus symbolizes power, courage, pride, and confidence. The national emblem stands on a full-bloom inverted lotus flower. The prominent place Satyam Vijayate is seen on the base. I feel proud to be an Indian.
In the field of technology, India has advanced a lot in the past few decades.
India is becoming a digitalized country, which is inspiring every other field of our society.
Digital India has proved once again that we as a country are known to strive only forward and never look back.
In honor of our digital leaps, we present you the next item, a video presentation on Digital India.
अनेक संशयोच्छेदी परोक्षार्थस्य दर्शकम् सर्वस्य लोचनं शास्त्रं यस्य नास्त्यन्त एव सः. Its meaning, it blasts many doubts, forces what is not obvious. Science is the eye of everyone who hasn't got it is like a blind.
Safeguarding data and information used to build networks and communication helps people carry out their work with efficiency, known as IT or information technology.
What is information technology? We often come across the word technology in our everyday lives, and it brings up something new and innovative on a daily basis. Have you ever pondered upon this technology, widely known as information technology? If no, then here's the detailed and significant information that tries to cover every possible nuance of this progressive technology. To start over, information technology is basically about safeguarding data and information. It acts as a boon to people who find it an intriguing task to work with computers and comprehend their functions and systems. Flabbergasting, right?
History of information technology in India. Let's acknowledge its history and seek some knowledge about how it came up. After independence till 1970, India did not have any guiding policy or framework for computer or software technology. In 1963, Bhabha Committee emphasized on the importance of electronics and computers for the development of India. In 1972, The government formulated a new software scheme and allowed hardware import and export of software. This scheme is considered the first breakpoint in the history of the Indian industry. Historic, isn't it?
How IT helped India for its development. This technology is making its headway with the help of one touch of the screen. Various applications and the constant rise of smartphones, tablets, and other electronic gadgets is emerging and will thus prove to be extremely beneficial in the future. To conclude, information technology is helping people in any and every possible way. As a result, one must make the most of technology because only then can one progress and help his or her motherland grow.
What are the benefits of IT during the pandemic? Telemedicine. Telemedicine, also referred to as telehealth or e-medicine, is the remote delivery of healthcare services, including exams and consultations, over the telecommunications infrastructure. Patients can communicate with physicians from their homes. Many patients feel uncomfortable to go to hospital or doctor chamber. This system creates communication among patients and healthcare professionals, maintaining convenience and commitment.
E-banking. E-banking nowadays is the common trend in our country. E-banking refers to electronic banking. It's like e-business in the banking industry. Electronic banking is also known as virtual banking or online banking. E-banking has myriads of benefits too. To name a few, ATMs, credit cards, debit cards, smart cards, electronic funds transfer system EFT, check the truncation payment system, mobile banking, internet banking,
Online shopping. Generally, in physical stores, the sales representative tries to influence the buyers to buy the product, while in online shopping, you're free to do as you will. There's a wide range of products online. The sellers display all the stuff they've got. This enables the buyer to choose from a variety of models after comparing the finish, features, and the price of the product on display.
Work from home. During the pandemic, when doors to working institutions were shut down, work from home came into being. To name a few boons: better work life balance, less commute stress, location independence, improved inclusivity, money savings, a positive environmental impact, impact on sustainability, a customizable office, increased productivity, and a happier, healthier work life.
If future generations are to remember us with more gratitude than sorrow, we must achieve more than just the miracles of technology. We must also give them a glimpse of the world as it was created, not just as it looked when we got through with it.
Technology has been an important aspect of India's transformation into a developing nation. It is indeed a blessing which needs to be safeguarded and used appropriately. This can be only possible if we all build and maintain our core values of integrity, reasoning, sensitivity, and courage while dealing with technology.
Krish, don't you think India as a country is advancing at a greatly impressive rate?
Oh, indeed it is. In fact, I believe this is the era of exponential India.
Absolutely. To add on, this new India is having a profound impact on people from every aspect of society.
Yes. And you know, Swara, I guess it's time we call our next speaker who will be able to enlighten us more about the advancements of our beloved country.
That's right. Here is Lianzel Dongre talking about the progress and development of India from 1947 to the time being.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lianzel Dongre. Today, I'm here to tell you all about the progress of India since 1947 to 2021. India celebrates its Independence Day on 15th August. It was on this day in 1947 that the British government was dissolved and India gained its independence. After 15 August, India took little steps towards its development. And now, in the year 2021, where India has several achievements under its belt, India is the country with the second fastest growing economy in the world. It has lifted itself out of poverty, became a space and nuclear power, and has shown significant progress in the field of medicine. It has taken a democratic leap by conducting its first general elections in 1951, with Jawaharlal Nehru becoming the first Prime Minister of India. India is also a major IT hub. Regarding its advancement in sports, India went to win the first Cricket World Cup in 1983. The Parliament also passed the Right to Education Bill in 2004, making education a fundamental right of every child and bridge the gap between different masses of society. People like B.R. Ambedkar and Lal Bahadur Shastri have helped to shape and mold the country, thus making it a strong nation. Although India still has a long way to go, it has achieved many milestones. So today, on 15th August 2021, which celebrates 75 years of independence, I wish you all a very happy Independence Day. Jai Hind!
Wow, wasn't that just great? What a splendid performance.
Indeed it was.
Krish,
Yes.
you remember us speaking about how our ideal India would be?
Oh yes, India is a country with such great unity and such great diversity, where people from every different background come together as one.
And you know what? I guess we can never fall short of others' views on this great country of ours. So, let's welcome Mihir Verma and Sana Khan from Standard 5 to give their opinions on our ideal India.
Good morning, everyone. I am Mihir Verma, a student of class 5th C. Friends, as we all know, today we are celebrating our 75th Independence Day. And today I would like to share with you the India of my dreams. Dr. Abdul Kalam had once asked a little girl, what was her dream for India? And she replied, I dream of a developed India. This impressed him, and to be honest, this is also my dream. I dream of an India where everyone is educated. It would be a place where there is no discrimination on the basis of caste, color, gender, religion, and socio-economic status. The India of my dreams would be a country that is entirely self-sufficient, where every profession is equally respected, and where the highest standards of cleanliness and hygiene are maintained. I dream of an India which is not only superior in science and technology, but also in sports, where we are able to win many medals in the Olympics and other international games. Lastly, I want India to be a country where women are treated with respect and are given equal opportunities as men. This is the India of my dreams. This is the India in which I want to live. The India of which I am a proud citizen. Jai Hind!
Good morning, everyone. I am Sara, and today I am going to speak about India of my dreams. I would like to quote here the famous poet Rabindranath Tagore, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world is not being broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. I dream of an India that is perfect, or at least one that chases perfection and puts an effort to achieve it. The India of my dreams would be an India without racism, communalism, and regionalism. Elimination of ignorance and illiteracy would be my next priority, because these are the foundations for any society. Education should be made accessible to all. I want India to be scientifically, technologically, and agriculturally advanced. I want India to be highly industrialized. Through industrialization, the country should be taken to the zenith of progress and prosperity. But mostly, the India of my dreams is one where we achieve our dreams together as a nation, where everyone is treated equally and with respect. Thank Jai Hind! Jai Bharat!
The Independence Day, along the period of 75 years, has seen a lot of changes. Each year brings with it a different set of events, opportunities, experiences, and emotions. However, the feeling of joy, warmth, and pride remains a constant each year.
Well, so to extend this feeling of pride and joy amongst us, we have our students from the Standard 10 who are going to be performing a fusion dance style focusing mainly on hip hop and crump.
From Suno Gaur Se Duniya Walo to Jigra, these students are here to bring in a storm and radiate their energy to all of us who are watching separately but remain united on this very occasion.
So let's take a step back and enjoy their performance. Please welcome our students, the Falcons.
ये योद्धाओं की भूमि है, हम बेफिक्र चले, सौगंध लिए इस माटी की होके निडर चले। नस नस में घोलता जज्बा है, दिल में ये गीत है, ये डर के आगे जीत है। ये देश का वीर जवानों का, अलबेलों का, मस्तानों का, यह सदियों से ये रीत है जी, हर डर के आगे जीत है जी, डर के आगे वजूद मेरा जुनून की आग जले, हम रक्षक हैं इस मिट्टी के, बस जीत की राह चले। है जीत का परचम हाथों में और दिल में गीत है, के डर के आगे जीत है। ये देश है वीर जवानों का, अलबेलों का, मस्तानों का, यहाँ सदियों से ये रीत है जी, हर डर के आगे जीत है जी, डर के आगे जीत है, डर के आगे जीत है, डर के आगे जीत है।
जिद है मेरी दर्द चीर के निकल चुका, मौका मिले तो करूं मैं ये दोबारा, जुनून के आग में उबलती मेरी कोशिशों को चाहिए ना कोई और सहारा। चीर के निकल चुका, मौका मिले तो करूं मैं ये दोबारा, जुनून की आग में उबलती मेरी कोशिशों को चाहिए ना कोई और सहारा।
चक्का जिते ते मिलन बधाइयां, चक्का जिते ते मिलन बधाइयां, चक्का जिते ते मिलन बधाइयां, के आया है फतेह करके सूरमा, सूरमा कमाने है जन्मया एक सूरमा, सूरमा सूरमा सूरमा।
Literacy, the key to socio-economic progress. And why is that so, you may think? Because when people are educated, they are able to contribute towards their society, become responsible citizens, improve on economic productivity, maintain social stability, and promote peaceful coexistence among others within the society. Literacy accelerates the progression of a nation, and therefore it is essential that every citizen is educated.
One could easily argue that the increase in literacy is directly correlated with positive economic growth. But at current, universal education is becoming a necessity. As for highlighting India, literacy is a key to socio-economic progress, since without government programs, India's literacy rate has increased in the past since 2011. Here comes class 9 presenting to you a PPT on literacy.
पढ़ेगा इंडिया तो आगे बढ़ेगा इंडिया।
न चोरहार्यं न च राजहार्यं न भ्रातृभाज्यं न च भारतारी, यये कृते वर्धत एव नित्यं, विद्याधनं सर्वधनं प्रधानम्. The shlok means that Knowledge, which is wealth, cannot be stolen away by a thief, cannot be taken away by a king, cannot be divided among brothers, and is also not a burden. Though it's spent, it always increases. Wealth in the form of knowledge is the foremost among all types of wealth. Thank you.
Frederick Douglass thought that literacy is the path from slavery to freedom. There are many kinds of slavery and many kinds of freedom, but reading is still the path. Have you ever thought about how education, literacy in particular, opens doors and increases opportunity? Without literacy, it's very difficult to succeed. When everyone has the skills needed to read well, the possibilities are endless. Making education a priority and taking advantage of the education opportunities is crucial. When we have knowledge, we are free to pursue the lives we want and become the people that we want to be. So, on the occasion of India's 75th Independence Day, we, the students of grade 8th, 9th and 10th, present before you a journey of India's literacy from 1947 to 2021. In the pre-independence period, the Gurukul education brought them close to nature, knowledge about practical situations of life, etc. The students were treated equally irrespective of their social standards. They were treated as part of the Guru families. There is no doubt that the system has evolved to incorporate technological developments. The only drawback is when the emphasis is on the theoretical part rather than the practical part.
The post-independence period. When India got their independence, there was remarkable improvement in scientific and technological education and research. Illiteracy, however, remained high. The new constitution developed by India did not change the overall administrative policy of the country. In 1950, the government of India appointed the Planning Commission to create a blueprint for different aspects of life, including education. The main goals of these plans were to achieve universal elementary education, to eradicate illiteracy, to establish vocational skill training programs, and to upgrade standards.
Let's take a look at how far India has come in furtherance of that aim. We will also try and understand the literacy model in India through statistics pertaining to the model. As per the model, the world's illiterate population resided in India in the pre-independence period with a literacy rate of 10%. When the British left India, the literacy rate increased to 50%. At present, literacy is taking on importance and hence India is working to raise its literacy rate and there is an increase of 70%. As per future predictions, India is aiming to be a fully literate country with a literacy rate of 90%. What do you think? Will India be able to achieve this within a decade?
Improved literacy can contribute to economic growth, reduce crime, reduce poverty, promote democracy, increase civic engagement, prevent diseases through information provision, enhance cultural diversity through literacy programs in minority languages. Literacy increases the economic status through engaging in vocations which require the knowledge of reading and writing. Literacy enables one to take part in many individual and group activities that involve reading and writing, and this helps to gain social prestige. Socioeconomic factors include occupation, education, income, wealth, and where someone lives. Literacy is an important tool that makes the work of the productive population most efficient. Becoming literate increases self-esteem and empowerment, provides measurable benefits for health and safety, strengthens relationships and civic engagement.
In conclusion, being literate has numerous number of advantages. Some are to communicate efficiently, understand the issues that are shaping our world, and also being aware of the current affairs. Moreover, basic reading and writing skills help in everyday activities. People are more likely to create opportunities for themselves and financially support their families. This enables people to be more self-supportive, economically productive, think creative, and develop on critical thinking skills. Therefore, literacy facilitates employment. Moving more towards women's education and creating emphasis on the Beti Bachao Beti Padhao campaign, positive impacts of education shown in women are increased self-esteem and raised expectations. Importance of schooling is also vital for improved physical health. So on this 75th Independence Day, let us pause and ask ourselves, are we literate or educated? Thank you.
It was rightfully said by Mark Van Doren, the art of teaching is the art of assisting discovery. And with so many discoveries around the world, we can truly see the effect which teachers have on the world. And it is rather essential to show gratitude to them who shape us in innumerable ways.
As Henry B. Adams says, a teacher affects eternity. We can never tell when their influence stops. To appreciate the efforts of our teachers, here we have a beautifully amalgamated presentation.
India, a priceless diamond.
India is one of the oldest cultures in the world. It is the responsibility of every Indian to contribute to protect our traditional values and culture. The world is turning towards Indian roots and culture. Thus, there is a need to awaken the spirituality from within and make positive changes.
विदेशेषु धनं विद्या व्यसनेषु धनं मति परलोके धनं धर्म शीलं सर्वत्र वै धनम्. Knowledge is a wealth in foreign land. Intelligence is wealth in tough times. Righteousness is wealth in other world. Good character is wealth everywhere and at all the times.
Just like a plant needs regular nourishment and nutrients on a daily basis, a student needs timely guidance and nurturing from a teacher who can lead him or her through each phase of life. The relationship between a guru and a shishya is a deep and profound one, wherein the guru nurtures the shishya and imbibes upright ethics into him. The Gurukul system was a renowned educational system practiced in India, where teaching was far beyond the classroom. The students would live in a Gurukul with other students who resided together, keeping aside the stereotypical beliefs where everyone was considered equal. This Guru-Shishya relationship symbolized the students' moral virtues like respect for Guru, devotion, commitment and obedience. This bond was the purest and students could seek the best of knowledge from their Gurus. A mentor is not someone who walks ahead of you to show you how they did it. A mentor walks alongside you to show you what you can do.
A famous quote said by Barack Obama, "Learning to stand in somebody else's shoes, to see through their eyes, that's how peace begins. And it's up to you to make that happen." Empathy is a quality of character that can change the world. India's ancient traditions of non-violence, kindness, love, and compassion are needed in today's world, where people are having dispute on the basis of caste, tradition, and racism. Indian culture taught us to give more rather than taking from the people around us. The "who cares" or perhaps "does that make any difference" attitude is displayed. But the decline of empathy in the Indian society has been observed for a while. It is sad to say that nowadays adults and even our younger generation have lost the value of empathy in them, even with 75% of literacy rate in India. When we take time to listen to someone without being judgmental is an easy way of understanding how they think and feel. If we want to retain the shine of our diamond, India, we need to pass on our cultural values brought on by a rich culture.
Tolerance is an important concept that helps people live together peacefully. To be tolerant means that you accept other people's opinions and preferences even when they live in a way that you do not agree with. Today, we are living in a society where people cannot tolerate expression of ideas and views which challenge its current beliefs and conventional wisdom. Helpful nature is another striking feature in our Indian culture. Right from our early days of childhood, we are taught to help one another in need of help and distress. Indian culture tells us to multiply and distribute happiness and joy and share sadness and pain. It tells us by doing this, we develop cooperation and better living amongst ourselves, and subsequently
make this world a better place to live in. Even though India is a country of various religions and castes, our culture tells us just one thing. फिर भी दिल है हिंदुस्तानी. India is a land of diverse cultures. There is absolutely no doubt that tolerance is the most important quality of man. It is the basic principle of good manners. So, every individual should inculcate the habit of tolerance. Our tradition teaches us tolerance. Our philosophy preaches tolerance. Our constitution practices tolerance. So let us not dilute it. Thank you and a very happy Independence Day.
John F. Kennedy said, "As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words but to live by them." Today, my words are not enough to express the gratitude, dear students, dear audience, dear parents. But then, I'm reminded of G.B. Stern's statement that says, "Silent gratitude isn't much use to anyone." Hence, I deem it a great honor to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of Dr. S. Radhakrishnan International School, Malad. The entire show has turned out to be a huge success due to the enthusiasm of the students, parents, teachers in charges, class teachers, technical staff, art and craft teachers, PE teachers, and all the people involved in today's event. I appreciate the hard work put in by everyone who has made this program a grand success. Jai Hind.